Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to Football Manager 2020, my first episode, my first series for FM20. Really looking forward to it. Today's episode, it's going to be a bit of an introduction. I'm super hyped about FM20. And then we're also going to take on Juventus in the first Serie A game of the season. This series, it's probably going to run throughout the beta and probably a few weeks into the full release. But I'm also going to be running another series alongside this one, and we're going to be with Inter Miami. Of course, David Beckham's new team in the MLS. Really looking forward to that. First things first, if you are super excited like I am, please be sure to drop a like on this video for FM20. Want to see just sort of how excited people are for the release of this new game. Anyway, let's get into some things first of all. The first thing I want to get into is the tactic. Now, I'm going to be using the same tactic. If you're not familiar with me, I did a San Marino challenge on last year's game. Super successful. I think I won 7 Serie A's in a row. Countless, Coppa Italias or TIM Cups. I pretty much won every Super Coppa I was involved in, I want to say. And I also won a couple of Champions Leagues and also a Europa League as well. So we were very successful. This is essentially the same tactic that I used for that. And I think I'm going to try it out at the start of this game. It's pretty much a 4-1-4-1. Lone striker up top with attacking wingers and inverted fullbacks. So yeah, that's that. We'll do a bit of a squad overview here. I mean, a lot of you are probably quite familiar with the AC Milan team. Got Donnarumma in goals. Incredible goalkeeper there. Got Calabria at right back. 22-year-old Italian. Does pretty well. We've then got Rodriguez here as well. Very, very talented left fullback. And then in our partnership in the center of defense is going to be Romagnoli, who is the captain of the club, and Musacchio, who is a pretty stern, solid 28-year-old Argentinian defender there as well. In the midfield, we've got Biglia, who is our vice-captain, 33 years old, pretty senior, probably going to be sort of replaced. He does have a contract that is running out at the end of this season, but we also have Benassa on the bench here, who is essentially his ready-made replacement. I think a few of you might be pretty familiar with him. He was obviously at Arsenal. They sold him off. Empoli bought him, and then of course AC Milan bought him this season. Move further ahead into the midfield. We got this guy, Lucas Paqueta, 21-year-old Brazilian, really talented. I mean, he's probably one of, if not the most talented players in the team, along with probably Suso here on the left wing. Now, Suso, I think he played for Liverpool, yeah. Didn't really play too much, to be fair. But he was very, very talented, and he still is. He's definitely one of our best players. The other centre midfielder is Frank Kessie, who we're going to start with. He can also play as a defensive midfielder if needed. And then on the other wing is our first signing we've made on the second signing, actually. And that is Pione Sisto from Celta Vigo. Pretty expensive transfer, £14.5 million there. But we needed a right winger. And I'll go into more detail with that in the transfers. And finally, up front, we got this guy, Piatek, 24-year-old Polish striker, 18 finishing, 17 composure, and 16 off the ball. Very impressive. Notable mentions on the bench, like I said, Benassa. We've also got Calhanoglu, another pretty talented central midfielder. And then we've also got this guy, Rafael Leao, 20-year-old Portuguese striker. And he's got buckets of pace, and he's pretty well-rounded. Definitely going to play quite a lot this season. All right, let's move into the transfers, like I mentioned previously. As you can see, there's quite a bit of activity. Obviously, most of it sort of happened before the game started. But if I scroll down here, we do have a couple of ins think Novella, yeah, Novella was my first signing that I made. 18-year-old. We just bought him as a possible future prospect. Looks pretty talented, as you can see. He's in the under-20s, already improving as well. And we brought him in for, I think it was a pre-contract for 800k. So very cheap. Salernitana was the club we bought him from. And he really does look quite decent. Well, he will be in the future. Next player we brought in was Vincenzo Milico from Torino. 4.7 million. I'm going to assume that this guy's probably... Well, he was previously a wonder kid. I'm going to assume that he's still going to develop really well, despite being 19. But as you can see, good pace, pretty well-rounded in the striking department. 20 determination as well, and of course 14 off the ball. A pretty big outlay, 4.7 million. But I think, you know, his value is going to probably quadruple in the next couple of seasons. And finally, mentioned it, Pione Sisto. Really talented winger. Like I said, we needed a right winger. We did actually sell Fabio Barini, as you can see down here, to Southampton for 7.5 million up front, with the transfer going to 9 million overall. So yeah, not really too much, you know, in regards to transfers. There were a few other players, a couple of youth players that were loaned out. But let's go into the pre-season fixtures here, and then we'll go into the finances before we get into today's game against Juventus. We started off with a 1-0 victory over Dynamo Kiev. We then managed to beat Perugia 1-0 as well. Pretty late penalty there for us. We then smashed Porto 3-0. We then lost to Bayern Munich. A little bit, you know, disappointing, but probably deserved to lose, in my opinion. We then beat Reggiana, 3-0. Managed to beat Bordeaux 2-0. Could only manage a 0-0 draw against Atletico Madrid. And finally, we beat our rivals, Inter Milan, 1-0 in the final friendly game of pre-season. Yeah, let's get straight into it. Already sort of been over the starting lineup with the sort of squad introduction there. Obviously, it's going to be a very tough game for us. I'm looking for the win. I want to win. I mean, I definitely think we can win. But I'm going to tell the boys that they're huge underdogs. Try and take a little bit of pressure off them. We will be playing in 3D with replays on as well. I've noticed that the match engine, I'm not going to toot my own horn or anything, but I have a pretty good computer. And I've noticed that the 3D match engine is a little bit choppy. It looks like it drops frames every few seconds. Obviously, it's the beta version. These things are sort of to be expected. I did actually turn the quality down to medium from high, so I'm hoping that'll hopefully change things. But I mean, it's looking pretty good. It looks a little bit better than it did when it was high. Anyway, we've started the game off. We're already 27 minutes in with me rambling on. Nothing really much is happening at the moment. Masaccio has picked up a yellow card. I'm going to ease him off tackles. Pretty much all of our players have the tackle harder player trait on. So whenever they pick up a yellow card, it's really important. We almost had the opening goal there. Really important to actually ease them off. Otherwise, they'll be quite prone to committing another yellow card offence and getting themselves sent off. Anyway, Juventus are breaking forward here through Danilo. Gets his cross. Well, he doesn't get his cross in actually and goes straight out for a goal kick. We're getting a few more highlights now. De Ligt with a header just over the bar. They've got quite a few yellow cards, especially to both of their fullbacks, as we've just picked up a yellow card there as well for ourselves. I'm going to tell the boys that I'm not happy, and hopefully they'll come out in the second half and really try and take the game to Juventus. All right, once again, Juventus with the ball in possession. And they've got some really good players as well. Matuidi, Khedira, obviously Ronaldo, Emre Can. They've got a very solid midfield. Higuain gets the opening goal of the game. Is it offside? I think it's offside. It is. VAR disallows the goal for being offside. And, yeah, we've been given a massive lifeline there. As you can see, Szczesny is on a 7.9 in goals for Juve. 7.9, that is ridiculous. Anyway, Ronaldo, the danger man. Gets across to the back post. Higuain going up again. But he can only head the ball wide, luckily for us. We are going to be playing it out from the back as well. We have ball-playing defenders as our two centre-halves. Ooh, Sisto down the right-hand side. Can he cross? Lays it back. Calabria. Biglia. Paquita. Ooh, that's a decent shot. Like I said, he's probably one of the more talented members of the squad, Paquita. Alright, I think we might make a sub here. I'm going to bring on Liao, the striker. Piatek's only on a 6.5, which is pretty low. I'm feeling like the deep lying forward for this tactic isn't really working. So that might be something we look to change very soon here. I feel like Calabria will take him off as well. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, him being on a yellow card. Especially if Ronaldo is going to be running at him all game. Alright, we do have the ball. Suso beats his man. Crosses. Sisto. His shot gets blocked instantly. We are getting the second ball. Oh, we've just given the ball away by Rodriguez there. The Bala breaking forward. That's a great tackle. Or, actually, no, it's not. Romagnoli's going to get sent off. It looked like a pretty good tackle to me. No, sorry, that's only his first yellow card. And Pjanic has scored off the free kick. We are 1-0 down. As you can see, 8.2 for Szczesny. Oh my god. We're dominating them in regards to opportunities. I think we've had 8 shots on target, and he's basically saved all of them, so... Oh, he's sent off now. I didn't ease him off. I was talking about it at the start of the game, and I didn't ease him off. Alright. Bad to worse, bad to worse. Alright, Duarte is going to come on for Biglia, and we'll just hope and pray that... Well, I mean, we are away from home. So I wanted us to win, but I didn't expect to win. I don't think a loss or a 1-0 loss is that bad of a result. Obviously, it's a bad result because we've lost. But it's a good test. I mean, look, we've had 9 shots on target. I feel like we've been really, really hard done by. I mean, we can push the boys forward with a shout there. But ultimately, I don't think it's really going to do anything. We're down to 10 men. I mean, Romagnoli's had a terrible game. He gave away the free kick for the goal. And then he's also given away a red card. Gotten himself sent off. There's only 3 minutes left of the 90. I mean, if we can get the ball, we might have another opportunity. But it's all Juventus at the moment. Ramsey puts a cross in, and that's 2-0 to Danilo. There's a bit of a bug there. It's coming up with Pjanic again. because we are in the beta version, so these bugs are sort of going to happen. Anyway, we're going to skip that replay. Not much point in seeing goals that are scored against us. As you can see, those ratings are incredible for their defense. Look at that. 8.4. I know Danilo just got the goal, which has probably inflated his rating a little bit. But Bonucci, 7.4, Sandro, 7.6, and De Ligt, 7.1. We've really been... I don't want to say screwed over, because it's partly my fault as well, but I think that's really harsh. Really harsh. Anyway, obviously not the result that we wanted. Sisto making his debut. Romagnoli's been in... I've actually set up a code of conduct, which is a new thing on FM20, where you set up specific fines for certain things that players do, such as getting red cards, not turning up to training, stuff like that. Anyways, that is going to wrap this first episode up, guys. Hope you have enjoyed it. Again, drop a like if you are hyped up for FM20. Be sure to drop a comment down below as well. Let me know who you are starting your first save with on FM20 as well. And obviously, I'd love to hear some feedback as well. As always, guys, apart from that, take it easy and goodbye.